It's time to do some soul searching, you guys. I have some shadow decks. I was drawn to bring these out today. Sacred Soul, Shadow Oracle, and Shadow Work Oracle as well. So those are the decks that I'm going to be using for this reading. Okay. And we're just going to kind of pull on some of the things that you may be feeling at this time. Some of you guys are very stubborn energy. I'm talking about, look, stubborn. This is who I am. Oh gosh, hold on, y'all, because this and it's all over the place. Hold on. This is a very stubborn energy coming through. So that could very well be something that needs to be, looked at inwardly, right? The stubbornness. Where is that stubbornness coming from? Okay? Why are you being stubborn? Why are you rebelling? Okay? Was the freedom taken away from you before where you feel like you have to be stubborn now? I'm telling you, like, when I say these cards are stubborn, the energy in here is very stubborn. This is the first time this has happened. Look, defensive. Like, literally, these cards are being defensive. It's like the energy, this is a very defensive energy, okay? But it's actually very toxic to you, okay? This defensive energy is very, very toxic to you. It's causing you to project your unresolved issues onto others, okay? But this hurts the other people that you're projecting onto. But this is something that you don't even realize. It says unconscious resistance to facing unresolved issues. You have to explore them with curiosity, okay? Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. I can't make it up. I can't make it up. Literally after that message, the card started flowing. So that definitely needs to be said to someone. So what are some of the things that they're struggling with at this time, Spirit? I pray that you cleanse the energy of any residual energy from any previous readings that could hinder or cause this message to lose its accuracy in any way, shape, form, or fashion. With Holy Spirit, ancestors, angels, spirit team, what is it that you see your people are dealing with at this time? Show me, please. I heard that this is something that they're hiding, right? This is something that they're hiding. It's like some of you guys are hiding this, and some of you guys are literally just not aware that this is your energy. Resentment. So it says, it often festers, causing a desire for revenge. Let go of the past to find peace. So some of you don't even realize, like, you still have resentment for the past, okay? Things that were said to you in the past, okay? Because here we have a double-edged sword, and that gives me something that's being said, okay? So there's some resentment for maybe the way someone talked to you in the past, or maybe you were verbally abused, or whatever the case is, and it caused some deep traumas, right? But not resolving that issue and just pushing it down, one, it can cause pains within the body and sickness. Two, it gives you an unconscious mindset, right? An unconscious mindset of wanting that revenge. And sometimes when you enact that revenge, is not even on the person that basically verbally abused you, is what I'm getting. Verbal abuse. It says you have to let go of the past and find peace. This is not going to be easy. You're going to have a lot of mountains to climb, but this is going to be necessary. You have to let go of the resentment. Yes, you're going to have to do some self-reflection. Talk to yourself. It says looking inward helps you see what to improve to make better choices. You have to ask yourself, okay, why am I responding in this way? Was this a way that I was responded to that hurt me, and now I'm doing it to hurt somebody else? You have to look at those things within yourself. You have to do the self-reflection, the introspection. Ask yourself questions about your actions. Why am I doing this? Does this make me feel good to do? When did I start doing this? Did anyone do this to me? Have I forgiven them? What else is your collective dealing with, Spirit? Some of you guys are scared to soar. Some of you guys are scared of your own power. What is your team dealing with? Dual nature. It says with great power comes great responsibility and accepting consequences. So I literally just said some of you guys are scared of your own power. But with great power comes great responsibility and accepting consequences. So it's like you cannot be scared of yourself, right? You cannot be scared of yourself. You have to take what comes along with having that power. Everything is not meant to be comfortable. And that's what a lot of you don't understand. Everything is not meant to be comfortable, right? If you try to stay in a comfort zone, you're causing yourself a mental block. So when a person starts having a conversation with you about something and it starts to make you feel uncomfortable because this is something that triggers your emotions or this is something that triggers your traumas, that's the time you need to breathe through it, because this is the moment of growth. Either you're going to grow from that moment or you're going to retreat back to an old way and stay stuck in the cycle that led to the resentment in the first place. It says fear of failure keeps you stuck. Break free from limits to unlock your potential. Baby, you limitless. You limitless. The only thing holding you back is you. Even I have to tell myself sometimes, you are limitless. You hold your own self back by lack of action. We have disconnected. Disengaging from the present moment hinders genuine connections. Okay? So a lot of you guys, whenever you're faced with those moments, right, where it's like you feel backed up against a wall, so to speak, figuratively speaking, you feel backed up against a wall, and it's like, it's just, you don't see a way out of the situation at hand, whatever it is. Okay, something could just be overwhelming your system, honestly. And instead of dealing with it or engaging with it, you just disconnect yourself from it. Well, what this is saying is that disconnecting yourself from a present moment where something is happening, in a moment where you're being overwhelmed, it hinders genuine connections. So if you're a person who, chooses other methods in order to, keep your mind off whatever is in that present moment, if you're altering your state of mind just to not deal with what's going on in the moment, then that's blocking you from having deeper connections, okay, and genuine connections. Because you can connect with a million people, but are they genuine connections, or are they trauma bond connections, right? Or are they toxic connections? And this little hawk just flying to his heart's content, baby. Having a good time in the wind, gliding. What else, Spirit? What else, Spirit team? The Spirit team of the collective Spirit team. What are your people dealing with? Manipulation. Manipulative. Okay? It says using tactics and strategies to influence or control others for personal gain. Okay? So some of you guys are being manipulated, just plain and simple. Especially if you're a person who can be like a very emotional person, or a person who can be overstimulated very easily. People will use that against you because they know, okay, if I push and I push and I push, then this person is going to get overstimulated and they're just going to give in and they're just going to give me whatever I want at the end of the day. So don't allow yourself to be manipulated in that way. You have to understand what manipulation is in all the different forms and all the different tactics of manipulation. Okay? Anytime a person is pushing you to do something that you don't want to do, that's a form of manipulation. If you really don't want to do it, then they're having to twist your mind, or they're having to convince you, okay? Or they're having to guilt trip you into doing it. That's manipulation. Understand, that's not a healthy thing. That is very toxic. What else, collective Spirit team? What's going on with your collective? Give me one more. Can't forgive on the bottom of the deck. Some of you guys are dealing with that. Collective Spirit team, can you show me what your team is dealing with? Can you show me what your people are dealing with at this time? The collective, the collective. Oh, is that the only thing? I was like, okay, we gonna leave it there, and you bust open this other deck, okay? And we gonna go even deeper. So we're about to go even deeper, okay? I literally just heard we're about to touch on some soul ties. We're about to touch on some soul ties. We're about to touch on things that have tied themselves to your soul. Things that have attached themselves to your soul. What is it, Spirit? What is it, collective Spirit team? What is it that you wish to say from this deck at this time? What is the collective going through? Ooh, that's a lot of cards. Okay, we'll take the two that flip over. We have deception. And we have authentic self. So with this deception, it says a slippery slope erodes trust. Honesty fosters connection and authenticity, integrity, transparency, and trust. Authentic self. Be yourself. Everyone else is already taken. Uniqueness and individuality. So it's like a lot of you guys with this deception and authentic self, you are not being your true self. Some of you guys are being deceptive. You're lying about who you are, okay? I heard lying to yourself too. Some of you guys are lying to yourself about who you are. You are lying to yourself about what you want because you want to stay within that comfort zone. But at the end of the day, if you're being true to yourself, you're always going to be happy in a situation. Even if it's not the best situation, you'll still have joy if you're being your authentic self. Do not be afraid to be uncomfortable. Don't be afraid to be uncomfortable. And surely don't be afraid to be your authentic self. If you're not being your authentic self, how can a person ever really truly know you? Because the moment, if you're so used to living a robotic lifestyle, right? Something very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? If you're living a life that's very calculated, I'll say that. If you're living a very calculated life, the one moment you decide to let a slither of your true self come through, it's gonna cause disturbance because it's going to be new, it's going to be unexpected, it's gonna raise so many red flags for whoever it is that you've been calculated with. So you have to be your true authentic self at all times. And then by you being your true authentic self, that gives that person the ability and the option to choose whether or not that's something that they can deal with, or that's something they can accept or not. Because if not, then guess what? You saved yourself a world of trouble, because you don't have to lie about being who you are anymore. You can be free. You're free to be yourself. And at the end of the day, a lot of people struggle with this one thing: not having the freedom to be themselves in full totality. I'm already getting downloads for the next read, so that means this is about to come to an end. Divine juggling. It says, master different aspects of yourself, both light and dark. Progress in inner harmony. So you have to have that balance, because at the end of the day, you can't be all nice and you can't be all mean. You have to know when to be nice. You have to know when to be firm, okay? You have to know when to stand on business, and you have to know when it's playtime, right? You have to have that balance. So if you're a person who struggles with this and you're always serious, then guess what? Nobody ain't gonna want to be around you. Nobody ain't gonna want to deal with you. Nobody ain't gonna want to talk to you, okay? If you're serious all the time, there's no lightness to you. That is just a dark place, honestly. So if you're just always negative, always dark with your energy, always serious, like you never give yourself a break, right? Then you're going to go backwards. It's like you're not going to have any harmony. It's like you'll always continue to bump heads with people, okay? You'll continue to bump heads with yourself. Nothing will move forward for you. You'll be stuck in one place just because you're so negative. You cannot be that way. You have to do the divine juggling. You have to juggle the light and the dark aspects of yourself. What else do they need to do? And if someone, with this falling under resentment, if someone caused you pain, you're going to have to use that darker side of yourself to explain to them how that made you feel. To explain to them why you feel the way you feel. You're going to have to do it. Either you're going to have to do it voluntarily, or Source will force you to do it. Because you won't have a choice. You won't have a choice, because stuff will be so crazy in your life. Stuff will be happening left and right. And you just, to the point where you just broke down. Literally. Or you lose your mind one. Yeah, but with this falling under resentment, you have to juggle that dark and light aspect of yourself. Because if you don't, you will have resentment. And with that, having a lighter side to you, right? It's good because you keep your energy up, you stay in a high vibration, you can basically just have that inner joy. But having that darker aspect of yourself is what allows you to put checks and balances on things, so you're never being overrun. Okay? So you're never being manipulated or taken advantage of. You have to display those darker aspects of yourself. Or else it's going to lead to resentment. Because you weren't firm enough. You weren't stern enough. You didn't stand up for yourself enough. Standing up for yourself comes from a darker aspect of yourself. Okay? It comes from that duality within. Masculine and feminine energies. Dark and light aspects of yourself. What about this dual nature? What do you want to say regarding this dual nature? What does collective need? Feathered omens. It says, even the sweetest bird harbors fierce intentions, self-deceit, illusion, and secret. So, when you think about a bird, right? Okay, you may, okay, a bird is a bird, okay? But with this saying, even the sweetest bird harbors fierce intentions, don't birds eat worms? Aren't worms living organisms? So to a worm community, a bird is a beast, right? But to us, they're docile. They don't really do nothing to you unless you mess with them. So it's basically saying that don't fool yourself by always trying to be, or don't fool yourself into thinking that you always have to display yourself, or you always have to act within the bounds of being this sweet, kind person, because you're deceiving yourself if you do. You're just straight up deceiving yourself. In this unseen pattern, change your thoughts, change your life, beliefs, and reprogramming. Like a lot of people do not realize. And then look what's on the top. Lack of awareness. A lot of people do not realize that this right here is the key. This is the answer. This is the key to changing your life. Ask me how I know. Because I did it. I changed my mind. I know sometimes when I do these readings, I be sounding so stern and so firm. It's because, y'all don't understand. I have lived this stuff. I have lived this stuff, which is another reason I can sit here today and give you insights on how to move forward when you're in a situation. It doesn't matter what you are going through. I'm telling you, you can push through it. There's always a way, because God will always give you a choice, because we are free will beings. There will always be the will to choose. Even in the worst circumstances, there are options. So with this lack of awareness, missed chances and unseen risks. Seek facts and stay open-minded. Insight and opportunity. It's like, listen to your intuition, number one. A lot of people don't even listen to their intuition because they don't even trust themselves. And you know why you don't trust yourself? Do you know why you don't trust your own judgment? Do you know why you don't trust your own decisions? It's because you are not being authentic to the person that you really are. You have to be authentic to you. Because if you are being exactly who you are, withholding nothing, right? Then you know what you want. You know what you like. You know what you don't like. So when you come across the things that you like and you don't like, then you can call them out. But if you're calculated, then you're keeping up with a rapport that's not even yours. You're keeping up with an identity. You're keeping up with a personality that's not even yours. It's like wearing somebody else's skin. That's not even you. You have to be true to yourself. Because if you're not aware of yourself, you cannot be aware of yourself if you're pretending to be someone else. And this causes you to miss out on chances. It's like you really don't know what's healthy for you or whatever. You don't know what's healthy for you. You don't know what's going on. Like, it's just so many things. So many things that come from having a lack of awareness. So many things you don't see coming. Things that you would see coming if you were authentic to yourself. If you really, because I know I keep harping on this, but by not being authentic to yourself, you won't even see things coming because you're not allowing yourself to cultivate who you are. When you are authentic to yourself, you can cultivate yourself. You can cultivate the person that you are to be. Okay? You can cultivate that. You can work on that. You can be fortified, and you can fortify that. But if you're pretending to be somebody else, then you're fortifying a lie. You're fortifying a lie. So you miss out on things that could bring you joy. You miss out on opportunities that could bring you abundance, okay? That could bring you happiness. That could bring that euphoric feeling. You miss out on those things because you're not being true to yourself. You're too busy being mechanical. You're a robot. They could just program you to whatever station they want to and watch you operate in it. But that's a lie. That's not real. A lack of awareness can cause you to be disconnected. And with this unseen patterns falling up under this manipulative, you have to change your thoughts. That's where it starts. Now, people will tell you that all day. Oh, you just got to think a different thought. But what they won't tell you is how hard that shit is. Sorry for the language, but it is one of them. They won't tell you how hard it actually is to think a different thought. But the thing is, it's not hard to think a different thought, right? It's hard. What makes it hard to think a different thought is the comfort, right? It's the being pulled out of your comfort zone that you don't like. Right? So it makes it a lot harder to change your patterns when you don't want to think about anything but the things that make you comfortable. And somebody come along and tell you that you got to change the way you think. Like, what you mean? I've been thinking like this all my life. This is the only way I know how to think. So you ask, how? How do I do that? How do I change my mind? How do I change the way I think? Well, first of all, what do you believe? What do you believe? You have to, when I say you have to literally do a lot of self-examinations, okay? It's a lot of self-examinations. It's so crazy. When I went through this, I'm telling you, when I was going through this, it's so many things I had to sit down with myself and talk about. And it's crazy because once you actually start to get the ball rolling, it's like you find out so many connections. Oh my God, like, I don't like people telling me what to do because, you know, when I was a kid, I was always told what to do. I always had to do everything, da 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 da. You know, or I was limited in the way I could move around because I had to stay at home, whatever the case is. But those little things shape the way you think. Those little things that you dealt with in the past shape the way you think in the now. Believe it or not. So you have to reprogram your mind. You have to start small. Just start questioning everything is the best thing you can do. Start questioning every thought you have. What I'm thinking about. Why am I thinking about this? Does it make me feel good to think about this? And if it doesn't make you feel good to think about, okay, well, what's a thought that I can have that will make me feel good about what I was thinking? And then boom, just like that, you change your mind. And you start to do that every day, more and more and more. And before you know it, you will be so in tune with yourself that nobody can tell you nothing, for real. Because you being real with yourself, you being authentic with yourself. Arrogance. Not seeing flaws hinders growth. No limits to learn and improve. I want to lay this down. Look, stubborn. Wasn't it that first energy that came out, and it's the last energy that showed itself? Because that closes the board. So we're going to talk about this arrogance, and we're going to talk about this stubborn, and I'm going to let y'all go. Because I don't know how long I've been holding you, but I feel like it's been a long time. So with this arrogance, once again, it says not seeing flaws hinders growth, right? No limits and learn and improve. Humility, awareness, growth. That's what you want. You have to have humility in order to grow, right? So if you're a person who say you want to change, right? You say you want to change, but because when you say you want to change, then you immediately put yourself in the crosshairs of being self-examined and also examined by your peers. Because if you verbally tell somebody, hey, I want to change, then guess what? They're going to start paying attention to you. They're going to start watching you to see if you're actually making changes, right? And if you tell yourself you want to change, then you have to give yourself room to change. How? By showing humility, by being humble, right? Okay, with arrogance. If you're a very arrogant person, and you feel like you ain't doing nothing wrong, or you don't do no wrong, not ever, not never ever, there right there is a problem. Because only by seeing your flaws will you be able to have that growth. And at the end of the day, because you don't see it as a flaw, but if you tell the person that you want to change, and because when you tell people that you want to change, let me tell you, people gonna tell you who you are, okay? They're going to tell you who you are. When you say you want to change, a person gonna let you know who you are, right? So they'll tell you all the things that they feel like you need to change. They'll tell you what you need to work. All you have to do is listen. The first part to change is listening. Listening to other people when they tell you about yourself. Because this is the way that you're being perceived by the world. I know people say you shouldn't care about what other people think. It's not so much caring what other people think, but it's more so about understanding what people think of you. Because if this is how you're being perceived by the world and you don't like it, then that's something that needs to change within self. Because what is making them perceive you in that way, if that's not how you mean to be perceived? You don't want to be perceived as a player. Well, if the world is seeing that every time they see you with a different woman or you with a different man, then guess what? They're going to see you as a player. If you don't want to be perceived as a player, then how about have some consistency when it comes to your mates? Right? You have to take the time to have a conversation with yourself. That's why I said question everything. You have to have humility, because arrogance will not get you nowhere but stuck in the same place, in the same cycle, with the same people. But listen to what people telling you. I'm not saying listen to what people tell you and take it to heart. No, I'm saying listen to what people saying and break it down. Take it into consideration. Ponder on it. Understand what it is that they're saying. Understand their perspective is what I'm saying. Because a lot of times, not all the times, but a lot of times when you're trying to change your ways and the person is making it known to you how your ways are, then, baby, you're being perceived that way for a reason, basically. They're trying to tell you who you are, and that's just when the person tells you how you are as a person. When you say you want to change, you can take that information and use it to compare and contrast. Okay, just use it to compare and contrast. Don't take it to heart. Don't get in your feelings because they said something that hurt you. Or don't get in your feelings because you don't agree with their perception of you. That's their perception. And if you say you want to change, really, at the end of the day, you want to change that the way people see you. Because if people didn't care, then you will remain the same. The only reason people want to change is because the people that they're surrounded by don't like their perception. So that's what makes the person want to change in the first place. So you're around people and they don't like what they see when they come to you. So you say you want to change. Because if a person don't like what they see when they look at you, they not finna be dealing with you. They not finna be talking to you. They not finna be helping you. None of that. They really not. Because they don't like you. They don't like what you're presenting yourself as. So now you want to change so you can be seen as likable to the people that surround you. Right? Because you want to be understood in the way that you mean to be understood. Because you want to be able to speak and say something and it be so, and not have people question you on what you're saying. You want to be trusted. You want to be honest. But it starts with self. You have to see your own flaws first. Don't make excuses for your flaws. Recognize your flaws. Because if you start making excuses, that's the arrogance seeping back in. So let's move on to stubborn. It can denote perseverance, but it also may hinder progress, flexibility, resolve, and growth. So at the beginning of this message, when I was trying to shuffle the first deck, it was just such a stubborn energy. The cards wouldn't even move. It's like I could not even get I wasn't able to get to the reading until I rearranged the cards. Because when I was trying to shuffle and the cards just kept hitting up against each other, they just kept hitting against each other. Nothing was moving. Nothing was moving. And that's literally how it is going to be in your life when you being stubborn. Nothing is going to move. It's just going to be the same thing every day, every day, every day, same thing. But the moment I stopped, right, to reevaluate the situation. I reevaluated the situation. I realized that the way I was holding the cards were not moving. They were not going to move. And I even tried to shift the cards around while still holding them in the same position. That did not work either. It only made a bigger mess. But it wasn't until I stopped and put the cards down, reshaped the stack, readjust it, only then was I able to then stack them back up, and boom, they flow beautifully. So let that be a lesson to you. Being stubborn will have you stuck in the same old thing, doing the same old thing, the same old way. No progress, nothing but frustration. Okay? That's all you're gonna be. It's frustrated, sad, mad. But if you lay it down, whatever it is that you want to change, if you lay it down and you look at it from a different perspective yourself, and you see where you can make the adjustments, things will start flowing for you. Things will start working out for you. Slow progress is still progress. Be grateful and always show your gratitude. Showing your gratitude in the most testing times is one of the most powerful tools that you have. One of the most powerful tools that you can use. Because it makes you fearless. It makes you feel limitless. Makes you feel like you can do anything. Makes you feel like anything is possible. But just breathe through it. And just know you're not alone. People are willing to help, but they're only going to be willing to help once they see that you want to help yourself. You literally have to be the change that you want to see. Because nobody else is going to do it for you. Only you can change you. Nobody else. So stop being stubborn. Stop being arrogant. Stop finding ways to disconnect from the moment. Stop altering your state of mind just to deal with a situation. And stop being fake. Like literally, be authentic to yourself. Know when to use different energy. Know when to use a lighter side. Know when to use the more sterner side of yourself. You have to use both in life. Because you don't want nobody to push you over. Because that's exactly what'll happen if you're too light. And if you're too dark, then you'll be alone. You're too negative, you'll be alone. Too positive, people gonna want to try you. But at the end of the day, as always, the choice is yours. What will you choose?